Most people are quick to say that we believe in God, but we're not as quick to obey. Too many of us just think that saying that we believe is enough. Though I have the faith, I've accepted Christ as my Savior. Most of us think that that's enough, but we never get up and move and do anything. We stay exactly who we are. And then, on top of that, whenever you confront someone, they like to hide behind the verse of, I'm not saved by my works. I'm saved by grace. My works don't matter. That verse is used to hide behind, to shield, to be an excuse to not have to change anything, to stay comfortable right where they are. But then many of us forget about the verse that faith without works is dead. Your works, your obedience, reveal your level of faith. But most of us just stay the same. See, the problem is comfort. But we talked about that all the time. But many times we have to hear something more than once for it to stick. The comfort isn't going to lead us anywhere that we're going to look back and say, I'm glad I took this route. The comfort is exactly what the opposition wants us to be. They want us to thrive in comfort, to add more pleasure, to add more convenience, to not do anything different because we're saved, not by our works. Everything was already done for us. He already died and came back. He took away all of the sin. You don't have to change. Just keep doing what you're doing. But it's all a lie. It's all a trap. It's all something in place meant to keep you confined to the box that you're living in. But what if the obedience, what if the works, what if these things are actually what make you dangerous? Why else would the heat get turned up? Why else would the attacks initiate if you weren't on the right track the second you become obedient? What if obedience is the trigger for the fire? What if the fire being triggered is not a bad thing meant to destroy you, not a bad thing meant to take you off course, to diminish you and turn you to ash? What if the fire is beneficial? What if the most dangerous people on the planet alive right now aren't the loudest or the strongest or the smartest or the quickest? What if the person who is the most dangerous is the person who has the courage to be obedient, to walk with God, to hear his voice, to cut out the noise and to do what he says, to trust, to actually believe in the promises and be faithful enough just to see what will happen? What if all of these things are required for you to become dangerous too? The people who are aligned with heaven, they're the ones who are unshakable when hell presses in. They understand that the enemy the enemy doesn't actually have any innate power. See, remember, Satan is on a leash, and the one who's holding the leash is God. Anything that Satan does that seems to be working against us, it's all allowed for a greater purpose. He thinks that somehow, some way, he can thwart God's plan. It's that pride for you. Despite seeing all of his glory in person up in heaven, he thinks that he can get in the way somehow and ruin things. But little does he realize every one of his actions have been calculated to the point where he's being used just like a pawn on a chessboard. So once you understand who you have come from, who sent you, who's given you that purpose, that burning desire inside of you that you can't quite silence, once you realize, wait a minute, this is who I come from, then there's nothing to fear of the enemy. Only things to rejoice about. For all of it is to play in our favor. As long as we keep the commandments, as long as we continue to obey the one true source. Everything that he has in store for us is far greater than anything that we could possibly put together with our minds. What do we have to lose by obeying? Shouldn't we want to actually, listen to the very one who created everything without lifting a single finger?